Okay, so essentially, like, I was kind of upset when the Android, Windows subsystem for Android, they sort of absolved it or dissolved it, and the Amazon App Store was dissolved, and Microsoft, and that whole thing got kind of pushed under the carpet. You didn't hear from it again. But of course, the developers, independent, were still building their own builds and building their own versions and still running Android apps on Windows. Now, one of those more reputable ones is called Mustard Chef. And I went through the motions, installed it from GitHub, went through Android Google developers, got the SDK tools for ADB, installed those, and I had issues. I even went to the Microsoft Store and installed any APK apps that they have. So, like, for example, if you go to the store right now, and I type for Amazon App Store, you will not see it. And if you search for what I'm telling you right now on Google, you'll get the same results saying it was discontinued like 2 years ago for whatever reasons, and it's no longer being used, and it was absolved. So that's the first thing that pops up, right? Well, how does it know that? Amazon App Store. So you got Amazon Music, here you go. All these APK extra things. You got the APK apps, pure APK, APK installer, the Windows UI APK app. You got music apps, a WSA manager, which allows you to install the XAPKs, APKMs, the APK, XAPKs, that's so forth and so on. But if you see, I search for it, it doesn't exist. There is no Amazon App Store. There's Amazon Music, but that's not what we're talking about. There's WSA Sideloader. I tried to install that. That didn't work. All these ones I installed, right? And now, for the longest time, this computer was on Windows 10. I just recently upgraded to Windows 11, and it's running pretty good. I'm actually glad. I'm not a Windows 11 fan per se at all. I'm a Windows 10 fan, but you have to stay up with the times and keep yourself updated so you don't have a lot of future problems. Okay, so it's not there. Right, well, in my archives, I found on another PC, I found the actual MSI bundle. Now, this bundle, which I'll provide in a little package to download on MediaFire, is Subsystem for Android 2407.4000.4.0, etc. Now, the Mustard Chef build is completely different. That Mustard Chef build, let's see. Now this build, what I was told was to download the most stable version, right? You got all these different versions. Now, have I tried all of these? No. You have your general MSIX source. Then you have these older builds, Windows 10, Windows 11, etc., 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 etc. But Mustard Chef is supposed to be, legitimate. So just know that. So I go down, okay, where are the releases? Okay, because I was told you want to install the MSI. So where are the releases? Here they are. Okay, so I went to install, not pre-release, but the latest stable build. This one right here. Okay? And if you go down and look at it, it gets really, I mean, this whole concept of Android on Windows was really convoluted and very unconventional and very cool and very possible and very doable. And then it got a lot of emotional backlash, probably from Google Apps Store, probably from Amazon, probably from the Windows developers wondering, well, are we Windows? We're not Android. We're not going to, are we both? I mean, like, what are we doing? And so this takes back about 4 years ago. We're now in October of 2025. About 4 years ago, I had Windows WSA running on Windows 10 before they even had it in development. I was just using the Insider Edition Windows, running it installed Android apps on Windows 10, no problem, like it was nothing. Works great. And then it just stopped working. And then when I tried to reinstall it, reconstruct it, nope. Now, if you go to the Microsoft Store, or I should say the Microsoft Learn documentation, it tells you that there's a certain date, and all the users that had installed WSA before that date, they were still going to be able to use the apps and still run APKs and still sideload them, etc., etc. And all the people after that date, that was a non-void. It would not happen. That would never be able to occur. Well, that's also a lie. So then it's telling me, okay, so all these things I'm reading and learning are not actually all true, partially truth. So what I did was I downloaded this version of the WSA, 2404040 nightly mine to the G apps, okay? And I tried to install it. I followed the instructions step by step, and it didn't work. So what I did is, we're going to scrap that. I went back to this, which I have saved. This is an archived MSI that I've saved for like 4 years or something. And I just happened to find it in an archive external drive. So I did PowerShell commands to uninstall the previous versions, right? Because it wasn't working still. I did all the steps that it requires, and then that didn't work. So I uninstalled it. So let's go to the very first steps that you have to do. Okay, so you download that file from, I will give you the link in the description. You will download that file. Okay, or you can go to where did I just have that open? You can go to Mustard Chef Build and download that file. But I will provide that for you. So I'm just going through the steps to recap. Now, I've already installed it and it's working. So I'm going to pretend like I haven't installed it and it's not working. So the first thing you do, if you have any remnants, you want to do this command here to uninstall it. So I'll just paste it. Okay, that's one. I'm going to remove the package. Okay. Now, the next thing you would do is install using that build that you will have downloaded from my MediaFire link, or you can download the Mustard Chef Mind the G apps from the GitHub repo. This will be your next step. You want to add this, okay? But remember, this right here has to be replaced with the path to where you downloaded that bundle, or wherever the bundle that you downloaded is located. Okay? The next thing you can do is you can install it via PowerShell. You can install it via add app package. Or you can install it, it's an MSI installer. You can do this command here. Okay, option A. This is option. Okay. Okay. And remember, we want to replace. Okay. Control Z. Control Z. Highlighter. Okay, whatever. Fucking bullshit. Okay. Now, also, the prerequisites are you have to have developer mode on. You have to make sure that Hyper-V and virtual machine is on. Okay, so you want to get that. You want to remove, so the first thing you want to remove is all packages. Then you want to add the app package path. Then you want to CD to it before you install it. You have two options to install it. Via the add app package or via the MSI, where you can just double click it. For example, here's my bundle, so I could just go like this, and then it will ask me if I want to install it. So there it is. No, I don't want to because it's already installed. Okay, so that's the next step. Now, if developer mode isn't enabled, then you want to make sure developer mode is on. And then you can just easily launch the WSA. Now, there's a few more commands that I didn't include because I lost the notes because I did not save them, but there are a few PowerShell commands that you can double check that it's installed correctly, the version, that the ADB is connected, etc., etc. Now, what I forgot to mention is you also have to, if you want the Google Play Store, if you want to side load apps, like just run any APK of your choice, you have to install the ADB tools. And you want to extract them from the Android Google developer website, which is at Android Google Developers, Windows SDK Tools. You can easily Google that and find that. And then the ADB tools, how I set that up was in my File Explorer in the C drive where it's actually installed. There's a separate window for ADB. Here it is. ADB. I extracted it into there. And then there's a separate folder for WSA. And there it is, WSA. Now, so now we can launch. So those are just like the basic instructions. I will tighten that all up for you, but let's look at the apps. So if I go to, but I want to show you something very interesting. Here is the app. So if I go to Windows Subsystem for Android, there it is, it's on. And that's basically it. Nothing super fancy. I don't know how this was as easy as it was because I have never had it install as easily as this. So you got your apps. Now look at what you see. I've already installed an APK. It's at the very top of the list. Now, this app right there, Amazon App Store, and Google, I did not install at all. Now, the most probable cause of that is that they were bundled in this version MSI WSA bundle that is the one that I have used, because if you remember in the GitHub version, where's mustard release? I should have it up here. It's not even in here. That's WSA mustard. Because if you remember, there is something, we got all these builds, right? And the one that I had downloaded and installed first was the stable build. Okay? I'm going to download it again. But if you look over here, which is, I repeat, not the one I installed, but this is the latest stable version. Okay. You're supposed to register these instructions. But what I'm going to do is just save this as a single file. WSA. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that in this version, G apps and Amazon Store has been removed in the Mustard Chef. That's the whole point, is because they discontinued it. But in the version that I magically saved, which is like from 4 years ago, is when they actually have it. Save as. So I'm just going to save on this Mustard Chef version. I don't care. It says that it's not blah 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 blah. It's a single file. Okay. So now, if we go to advanced settings, how do you know that the ADB is connected? Okay, so here's some PowerShell commands. Let's put them in here. Okay. So this is the default address right here. This 127.001.58526. Okay. Now, what we want to do, I just want to double check something. PowerShell copy. I'm just going to see if the PowerShell, because I already have an Android app open. I just want to see if the PowerShell will still run the commands and show and verify, because we're going to verify. It's not recognizes the name as a commandlet. Okay, so let's try CMD. This is not all PowerShell. It's not recognized. So if it's not recognized, how am I running these commands? We have to CD into it first. My bad. Never mind. Scratch that. I'm confusing you guys. Okay. So if you want to CLI it, here's the commands. They're straightforward. It's easy. If you have errors, you can always reverse engineer, backtrack, read the logs, and make sure you're in the right paths. Do it again. It will work. Those are the instructions. Bam, boom. Wait. Cancel. File, save as. Okay, so we'll just minimize that. Okay, so there you go. Now you can adjust the memory and performance, partially running, continuous, the amount of RAM. Now 6 gigabytes is a lot, because actually for me it's not, because I have 32. I take that back. But what if you have only 4, or if you only have 8? Then you can adjust this accordingly. You custom, low, high, etc. Application partial running. What else? Focus. So I want to be able to use Windows and Android side by side. I don't want only to have Windows open and then I have to close down Windows to open up Android, whatever. It will. So in the independent mode, Windows Focus is independently maintained by Windows and the subsystem, means the Android app and Windows app can be focused on at the same time. Okay. So there we have it. So there we have it. So there we have it. So let's find my APK library. And let's see here. Let's go to recent history. I have a library of almost to 1,000 APKs almost. Okay, so let's say, what app can we use? Let me find a good app. Okay, I'm going to download that. This is a little girly app that I created, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put it on desktop. So Windows and Android are going to be merging, just like T-Mobile bought US Cellular. Isn't that crazy? Okay. So now, here's the app. So for example, these are the Android. Now they're not going to show the thumbnail view of the APK. Someday, maybe somebody has made an app or will make an app that will allow that. So here's my app. I'm going to just double click it. It's an APK. Now this is the WSA side loader that I downloaded. It's a simple GUI. I'm just going to install it and it should install okay. Yep. Oh wow. Okay, it's been so successful. Let's open it. There it is. So let's see if I could change the date settings, password, customize. Let's customize the button's color. Let's make the button's color like that. Save. Background. Let's set the application background. Let's make it like that. Save. Let's go back. Stats. I don't know what that's all about. That's just ridiculous. Number one background. Dominant mood. Somebody's creative ideas. Let's go to home. Let's search. What's A? Let's edit the date. Can we edit the date? Edit. So it is October. Oh, it is October 4th, 2025. Okay, quick text. I have to remember to. Where can I write more text? Remember to keep. I can change the mood. So this is an unfinished mod app that I created. And I'll just put it like that. We'll change the style of the text. We'll change the font. Let's make it a little bit more easier to read. Color, let's make it black. Is there a black? Save. Okay. Okay, so there you go. I can add an image. Let's see. Back. Oh, because I have to install CX File Explorer. I'll download that real quick. Now it's going to try to automatically install Opera with me, but that's part of the ads, and all I have to do is just go into File Manager and delete it. Go into my downloads. Okay, so close that. No, so we can save that. Next. I don't have a lot of files. Let's do customize background. And then what I could do is use an APK editor and modify this app with root. Okay, so here's CX File Explorer, so I'm just going to install that real quick so I can show you how we can add images from your Windows drive through, which is routed through the Android. However that works, I don't even know the terminology. And then I could show you, I can fix my Telegram app. Some of the apps are smaller than others, so let's open it. Okay, so this is great. So this is your default File Explorer. Give it for permissions. Okay, so if I come here, come home, I will say I want to edit that note. just kind of lame. Let's edit. I'm gonna add a picture. No, go back. I'm gonna add a background, add an image, I should say. Well, I have no camera on this computer, I forgot. So that's not going to work. Okay, well then that is not going to work. What is this card? What are these cards for? Back. Paint the background. Library. Images. Let's go back. I can go to Documents. No, CX File Explorer is not giving me access to my files, which is unusual. But that's okay. Anyways, you get the idea. So I'll just close that app. Well, let me see if I can find another app. Let me just see something here real quick. So let's see here. Where's Chagrin? Okay, so I found another one. I found a Telegram unofficial app. Let's see, we're going to Lightroom. I'll do this one too. Okay, so I'm going to try this one. So, as far as like APK management, APK development, APK signing, APK this, APK that. There's a lot of things that you can do, but since Google Play Store, since Android 12 and up, a lot of things have changed as far as APKs are not really legitimate enough to upload as your main files because they are so easily manipulated and easily reverse engineered and easily can be copied and manipulated and changed. Now, I don't know if it will allow me the communication version of this app, meaning if I can use the phone and messaging and all that, because this is unofficial version of Telegram. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. One. Might be banned. Three, 6, 7, 3. There we go. Unofficial version of Telegram. Please work. And the reason why I got this message on my computer is because I have there it is. There it is, the unofficial version of Telegram running. This is Android running on PC. Okay, so if I go to, so I just got a message on my computer, as you can see, it popped up. Now, if I go to Telegram on my PC, I don't know if it will open. I got too many windows open, you guys. I can give gifts. Oops, I accidentally closed it. And here's a code. Text editor. Where is chat green? Let's go to, I accidentally closed it, so there it is. I can't believe it works. I can't believe it works. Okay, so there you have it. Because this is my official Telegram account, and the phone number that I use for chat green is the same as my Telegram. So let me see if I can open up Telegram at the same time. Settings, yes. Now if you notice all that, see that color alias is because things are running, got too many apps open. So I'm going to close some things here. I'm going to close that. I'm going to close Chrome. I'm going to close WhatsApp. But here's an interesting thing that we can do. Okay, so here's WhatsApp. So let's say, how can we here's WhatsApp, here's Telegram. Well, that can conclude it for our little demonstration on WSA for Windows 11. Windows subsystem for Android still working October 2025.